I'm Mike Kovack with the Medina County Arts Council, and we're here with Vickie Jackson of the Medina County Showbiz Company today for Spotlight on the Arts. So, Vickie, thank you very much for taking time out to talk with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
And we are at the Common Ground here in Medina. If you haven't been here, so you can see that. In fact, there may be some construction going on, but it's always good stuff here. But Vickie, first of all, tell us how long you've been with the Medina County Showbiz Company and how you first got involved.
Well, I've been involved with it for 10 plus years, and prior to that I was involved with Sandy Harris, who's a staple in our community.
Right.
She directed my kids along with, like, I don't even know how many youth.
My child also?
See? Yeah,
Yes.
and she was so wonderful. And then we loved her organization, and I moved to Medina. I'm originally from Michigan. Don't hold that against me. I know. But I've come to love Ohio, and I love everything that is here. But I was looking for something for my kids to do, something that was free, and they grew into developing friendships and skills that are just they still use to this day. And then I got involved in my first production at Medina Showbiz, and then they suckered me in, and I love to volunteer. So I became a volunteer, and then a member, and then onto the board. So yeah.
And I think we'll touch on this again, but the arts are just so good for kids coming up. It's boy and girl activities, so they learn some of that, and music and arts. But I'm sure we're going to get to that.
Yes.
So, but the mission of the Medina County Showbiz Company is to, I quote, to provide quality entertainment to benefit the community artistically and philanthropically, to offer educational and outreach opportunities, and to operate with integrity and good faith. Now, that's a wonderful mission statement there. And if you could tell me a little bit about how that plays out for you in the everyday workings of the Medina County Showbiz Company.
Well, I had a wonderful mentor as the past president before me, Derwin, and he showed me just to listen to people, and then we kind of went on from there. And our new mission is, when I became president, taking off of what Derwin did, is if it's what's best for the community, that's what we should do. We shouldn't pick a show because I want to do it or someone on the board wants to do it. It should be, how does that serve the community, and is this what the community wants to see? And so we've made a lot of changes through that. One of the things that we did is I started a script selection committee with a couple of the board members, because when I first came on, it was just the board kind of picks shows, or we had directors pitch things. And so when I became in charge of the script selection, everyone's like, oh, you're in charge? Can we do this show? And they were coming up to me, people I'd never met, and I was like, oh. So now what we do is everyone's invited. We try to send out emails and post on Facebook, and anyone's invited to come. And we pick out scripts and we read it, we sit around a table and we just randomly assign who's gonna read for what. And then if we can do it on the stage, if it's marketable, and people are enjoying it. Throughout their script selection, and it's people from all over the community, not just involved with the theater, not someone on the board, not like I don't want to say clique, but not just like the favorite people. Anyone can come. And we've gotten such good feedback, and sometimes we read a script that we're like, oh, this is going to be amazing, and we're like, oh, didn't really like that. And some were like, we don't really know that show, and then we read it and we are like laughing so hard, and everyone enjoys it. And so as long as, again, we can accommodate it on our stage and people want to do it, that's how it's gone through. So that's been, again, what's best for the community. I made some notes, I just want to make sure. Oh, and also several people were asking about classes, and so we've had tap classes, we've had an improv class, and all the proceeds from that go right to the instructor. Showbiz doesn't take any money for that. And it provides a need. We've heard what the community wants. So we've had adult tap classes, which is so fun. We had a recent high school graduate that just finished his freshman year at college. And during COVID, his improv group that he started got canceled at the high school, because of COVID. And so he's like, I'd love to do for the youth an improv class. And I said, okay, perfect. And then when we told him that he was going to get all the money, he's like, what? He was like, so it was really wonderful. And so we try to do anything like that. Like if someone brings us an idea and they're willing to put in the work and we can accommodate their schedule, sounds fantastic.
That's a newer addition that you've done, haven't you, in the past
Yes.
few years? So I started noticing that on your website too. I didn't get to the adult tap class yet, but that may be coming down the line.
Yeah, hey, come on over. It's fun, and it's great for beginners and people who have done it forever.
Sure,
This gentleman,
absolutely.
Glenn, he does a great job of doing things slow for beginners, and then it's challenging enough for people who have tapped for a long time.
Right,
And then the gentleman who's doing the improv class, Colin, he's great. He's been in some of our productions and heavily involved at the high school, and it's great to see him coming back. And with our, I know you're going to probably get to it, but with our youth production that we have, Wizard of Oz, we actually have a pit that we're giving the kids. And a recent graduate from college who used to be in our youth productions, Abby McClintock, she is our music director. So it's kind of nice to see full circle. We're getting
Absolutely,
younger people
yes. coming
coming back, and we're giving her an opportunity to hone her skills and, to give us
absolutely.
her talent. So, yeah.
Now, you talked about your group that did the script reading, and you've got, looks like 5 wonderful productions coming up for the coming year. Did you want to mention those?
Yeah.
Or
So one is a favorite of mine, Something Rotten.
Right.
And when we read it, everyone was laughing, and they were so excited to be a part of that. So that's going to be a great production. We have a great staff. We have Jim Dove directing it, Carrie Knox music directing it, Glenn Stacho is our choreographer, and then many, many other people behind the scenes. So, and those are the same people who brought us Bye Bye Birdie from last year, and a lot of the cast came back from last year as well, and we've gotten more people. And one of the things that made so many people come back is everyone calls me Pollyanna because I'm always like, oh, let's just be nice, let's be nice. But being kind, and that was another thing that we brought to the board, just always be kind. Even if someone comes at you, just, okay, I understand, because they're frustrated and we need to hear their frustration. But the reason so many people have told me they're coming back is because of the attitude. And, that production staff that did Bye Bye Birdie and Something Rotten, and actually all the production staffs in the last year and a half, they've emphasized, let's just have fun at theater, because people are taking their time out of their work day after they get done with work, and they're taking time away from their families and from responsibilities at home. They should be having fun. It shouldn't be anyone yelling or getting upset. Let's just have fun. And they've grown, friendships have grown from it, and then the production is kind of like just feeds off of that. And so if they're having fun, they're gonna, perform. And we've gotten more volunteers. We still need more. Please come help us. But yeah.
Yeah. So you got something
rotten.
rotten. You want to go?
And then we have A Christmas Carol, which is going to be great. It's a play, a traditional play. She wants to go really dark with it. Jen Dove. She wants to go very dark with it. And then Almost Maine is our a youth production that's a play.
Right.
So many kids are involved with the musicals, and there's some kids that maybe will always be in the ensemble, and they don't get a chance to really get into something a little bit more substantial with their acting and stuff. So the kids, the youth board, which we'll talk about later, actually picked this play, and so we're doing it, and we have 3 directors, and Almost Maine is like different little vignettes. And so each director is taking a couple so they can really work with the kids in the little vignettes. And that's going to be amazing. And then we have Puffs, which is something we're trying. We did She Kills Monsters this year. And Puffs is another one in our kind of pushing the envelope. We normally do all family friendly where, a grandparent or a parent can bring their 10-year-old. Puffs and She Kills Monsters had a little bit more language and a little bit more adult contact. Puffs is kind of a spoof on Harry Potter. It takes place from the Hufflepuff house. I don't know if you know anything about Harry Potter, but
I do.
Yeah. So from the vision of Hufflepuff, but they can never use any of the terms, so they reference a lot of different things. And again, listening to the community, we've always done hugely family-friendly shows, but there's people in the community like, we want to do this show, we want to do this show that's maybe pushing the envelope with language and content. And so now we're taking one show out of our season to give that to them, because they're a member of the community, and we need to, if we're going to be really a community theater listening to everybody, we need to listen to all members of the community. So that was a compromise.
And then you have one more in your stable. You didn't talk about the
High School Musical.
There you go.
Oh, yes. And the kids are very excited. And that one we're actually doing, so with the youth musicals and the youth shows we've done in the past, it's been K through 12. And so next year, the High School Musical will be 6th grade to 12th grade, allowing maybe for some harder dancing scenes. And really there's no place for littles in that. But then we're going to give the littles that we call them K through 5. They probably won't like that, but they might not be listening to this.
That's right.
But they will be doing a one-act play that's kind of tied into High School Musical.
Right.
So that's something, again, going back to when my kids were in plays, 4th and 5th graders don't always get huge roles.
Right,
but now
right.
doing these one acts, they start out in kindergarten and they build up, and then by 4th or 5th grade, they can have a larger role in the
right.
play. And then they have to go back when they get to 6th grade, maybe going back to, paying their dues. But it offers more opportunities for the kids to be a part. My kids would have loved that. They're like, why can't I be the star? I'm like, because you're not in high school. Just pay your dues and you'll get up there. Yeah.
A little taste of life there early on is the way it happens. So
Exactly.
now you guys have a home base in Medina City
Yes.
that a lot of people may not know about, the Haddad Theater. If you want to let people know a little bit about that.
We're in
Yes.
the County Administrative Building, and we're right on Broadway. I always make the joke, come see a show on Broadway. You don't have to go to New York.
I never thought about that, but
Yeah.
that's correct. Yeah.
We're right on Broadway, and we're in the theater. We have a 400-plus seat theater back there. We have a huge stage. It is air-conditioned, so you don't have to worry about fanning yourself. But no, it's a great thing, and every time we tell people that where we are, they're like, I didn't know there was a theater in there. So there is a
That's right.
theater there. Come see us.
Yes.
And again, we just have a wonderful staff. The county's amazing with letting us have that space, and we appreciate it. And we only have 5 shows this coming year, and that includes 2 youth shows. We've kind of condensed it. We went a little crazy this year. I had too many, and but it was fun, but it was very challenging. And also, we have more people wanting to rent out our space, and as giving back again to the community, we ran at a very reasonable rate. And all the rental money that we get goes back to providing we've got new sound system. We have a new light board now. Anything that gets maybe, with the wear and tear, all that money goes into that. It does not go into our profits or anything like that. It goes right back so that when people come back to rent it again, they're benefiting from their rental money.
Oh, that's
so,
wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
now, you mentioned one of the things that stands out with your organization is the opportunities for Medina County youth to be involved.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit more about some of those opportunities for them?
Yeah, so, and I've been pushing the youth, again, for a really long time, just from experiencing how it benefited, the youth program benefited my kids. Neither one of them are going into theater. My son is going into music, but it's helped them. My daughter was in part of Zoo Crew. It helped her talk to the public. Anytime they were in group projects, they were never afraid to be the speaker because they're like, whatever, I go up on stage. And I've seen so many kids come in and they're so shy. And they're so off stage, they're, kind of sitting over in the corner like this. And one thing Sandy Harris always did at the end was she would line up the kids on the edge of the stage after the performance, and the audience could ask them questions. And there was this one girl that, she was so shy. And they said, well, what did you learn most? What did you enjoy the most? See, I'm getting,
Yeah.
and she
Yes.
she said, and it wasn't even my kid, and she said that if the rest of the world was more like theater, it would be great because everyone's so welcoming. And she was a little odd. She had a little quirky behaviors.
Right.
And she's like, everyone welcomed me here. And I've made friends. And I still think about that all the time because it is a safe space for kids. And it's a place where maybe if they, don't have a lot of friends at school, or maybe they get teased or something like that, they come there and everyone's welcoming. And my kids growing up, and I see it still to this day, they get involved with the show, they get on these group chats, they have sleepovers, they have these parties, and then the kids go to school and they have their group of friends. Maybe they have other organizations, and then they have their theater friends.
Yeah.
And it's just a safe place for kids to come. There's no drama. There's adult supervision, so we're not just like Lord of the Flies, go do whatever you want. But it's just a wonderful. I can't stress what theater can do for kids, whether they're going to be a star down the road or not. It helps them out in so many different ways. So we've started a youth board, and we're giving them a voice. We let them pick out the shows going forward. They were in charge of Medina's Got Talent, so they helped out with that. They have a lot of great ideas. This year, we're going to step it up a notch. We're going to have them elect officers. So we have to have a secretary. So I told them, you got to create minutes. And then we're teaching them about fairness. If we come up with an idea, we're not going to vote on it till the next meeting, allow people to read up on it. And anything they say, unless we physically can't do it or is not safe, we encourage them, and we try not to, we have a wonderful person who's going to be in charge of our youth production, she's going to be called our youth coordinator. And she teaches up in Cleveland schools. Her name is Maureen Stocks, and they all call her Miss Mo. And she has been very instrumental in helping me, because she's like, just let them do it. Let the youth do it. Even if it's, just let them write out their own words, let them speak what they want to do. And then we listen, and it's been great. So again, I'm very excited for the youth board to take off, and whatever they want to do, we will support them to our best, to the best of our ability.
Outstanding. What a great opportunity for the kids. So, yeah. Now, I think that anyone who's interested in theater, song, and dance would be attracted to volunteering with the Medina County Showbiz Company, because that's what you do. But the thought of being up on stage for most people terrifies them, right? Number one fear in the world, they're public speaking. But are there volunteer opportunities available with your organization for folks who maybe aren't interested or don't want to be up on stage?
Absolutely. We have, and we're encouraging everybody to help out with lights and sound, and which actually we're going to have with our new light board. We're having a workshop the 2 weekends in July, and they will talk about, you can be a beginner, never touched a light bulb before, all the way up to how to program lights, and they will teach you from start to finish. We teach people how to do sound. Let's see, what else? Props and costumes. So costumes, you get to just kind of shop, and we have a whole bunch of costumes up top, and then you just get to dress people, I guess, like say, well, this would look good, that would look good. And sometimes you get to get creative. We have a young girl who came in and did a couple of the shows, She Kills Monsters and now Wizard of Oz. And she just took all these tutus home one day, and she came back and made a fairy costume. I'm like, I don't know how she did that, but that's her thing. And one thing we always need help with is set build.
Right.
And sometimes you don't need to build the set. I mean, I help build a set. No one wants me to, and I always tell people I have other skills, but I'll hold a wall up. They won't give me a drill anymore because I strip the screws. See, I even call them nails. I strip the screws, and they laugh at me, and it's all fun. But we have fun. I provide donuts and food at the set build, so please come help build sets. But everyone's laughing, and they have a good time. And one other thing we found as we've developed our board a little bit more, and is if everyone has fun, they'll come back, even if it's set building or lights and sound. And you learn a skill, and we're trying to teach the kids more how to do that as well, because kids, hey, you learn how to do lights and sound when you go off to college, they'll pay you. People will pay you to do these positions, and we're going to teach you for free. So, well, the light workshop is, costs something, but, that's okay.
So plenty of opportunities available, even if you have no talent, like me. So that's okay. Good.
Yes.
And Vickie, I'm sure it's not cheap to do all the things that your organization does. How do you raise money for all of your activities, and how can people donate to your group if they're interested in donating?
Well, we'll take money anytime. We're working on more fundraising, and that's probably our weakest spot. But since we've been doing it for 40 years, we do have some money set aside, and we basically keep going off of our profits from our previous show. So come see the show. That's how the community is helping us right now, coming to see the show, buying the tickets. And we do have a budget and finance, and so we budget everything out and say, okay, this is how many tickets we need to sell. If we sell this many tickets, we're good, and we can keep doing the shows. The Christmas show is always a wonderful thing because so many people come. That kind of pays for some of the other shows, and then the youth shows a lot of times pay for it. I'm trying to think. I did have notes.
Advertising available in your
yes,
programs?
there is advertising available, and I know we have quite a lot of local businesses that support us, and we're always grateful for that. And then a lot of, we're going to try to go more corporate, kind of reach out more. Now that we have more people on the board that are willing to do that, that's our next move. But we've just been trying to keep it going, and we've also we're attracting different people coming to help out on the production side because we are now paying production staff.
Ooh,
it's not just all volunteer anymore.
That's
so
right.
we will probably have to do some more fundraising. So if anyone wants to help out with that, you can come to the board, join our program, and help us fundraise, because that's probably our weakest spot.
That's how the activities go on in the nonprofit world.
That's a volunteer position we desperately need help with. And we've also gotten grants, and we have some people who help us write grants, and Medina Arts Council gave us a grant for Almost Maine, so we'll be using it for that. So we're very excited.
They're a wonderful group.
They are. I've heard great things about them.
Yes, indeed. So,
Yeah.
we have been talking to Vickie Jackson with the Medina County Showbiz Company, who puts on community theater plays throughout the year, and they also offer classes for youth and adults throughout the year. Vickie, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us today, and thank you and your organization for all the wonderful things that they do in the community throughout the year. So,
Yeah,
thank you all for tuning in. I'm Mike Kovack with the Medina County Arts Council, and this has been the Spotlight on the Arts. The Medina County Arts Council is proud to present Spotlight on the Arts. The Medina County Arts Council's mission is to support, nurture, and advocate for the arts in Medina County, and you can get more information at medinacountyartscouncil.org. Thanks for tuning in.